What the going on this team, Jerry?
Bury him! Bury him!
Jerry, TJ Watt.
He is the best defensive player on the planet.
Go! Yes! Yes! We're going to fire! Steelers fans! Bang! Run it down their throat!
No! That's not a penalty!
Game over! Game over! Don't ask me to do nothing! This is nothing!
He's aggressive.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Steel Here podcast, where I'm your host, Kevin Adams, alongside my partner in crime, Jersey, Jerry. Jerry Don, it is week 12 of the NFL season. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to Chicago to play the Bears. It is only right that we bring on Bears super fan, host of Pardon My Take. He is Dan Big Cat Katz. What up, Big Cat? Welcome to the show.
Make some eye connection with me, Jerry. What's going on?
Well, I got three screens running. I got the Bush screen. I got the Steelers stream.
Kevin, we can talk. Fuck you, Jerry. You're worried about this guy cares more about his Bush gaming than he does the Steelers right now.
That's the truth. Big Cat, look at the coloring on his screen, though. It's been all season now. We're talking to Jerry, and it looks like he's at the titty bar with the neon glow on his face.
Sorry, hold on. Is this better? Is that better?
Yes, Jerry.
All right.
Big game, fellas. And Jerry and I already did our advisors show, and I think we're both in the same spot where we're trying to exude confidence, but there's maybe some doubts in the back of our head for both of our teams. I don't know. Maybe you can be the arbiter here, Kevin, with just like how you're feeling about the Steelers. I also know. I assume you watch a lot of our content. Sure. I am the Steelers whisperer. I know the Steelers better than Jerry knows the Steelers in terms of whenever he tells me he's super confident about a game, I fade the Steelers. Whenever he says the Steelers are going to get killed, he said they're going to get killed against the Colts. I took the Steelers. He does this all the time. So the Bengals game, he said they're going to kill the Bengals the first time.
By 40, I said.
All Bengals. So I know the Steelers just based on what Jerry says.
This is the life of a Steelers fan, though. Anytime we get too high, they shit on us. And when we're too low, they go out and play their best football of the season. And
that's Mike Tomlin. That's every year.
That's exactly what it is. So, like, Big Cat, what are your thoughts on Mike Tomlin? You like him? So a few years ago, when the Bears were looking, all those rumors, the Bears are going to trade for Mike Tomlin. Anything in the world, Big Cat, I would have shipped his ass to Chicago in a heartbeat. I mean, if you know me, I am the most anti-Mike Tomlin guy for the Steelers at this point just because it's stale. But as an outsider and a fan of a team like the Bears, which obviously have struggled for a while, they have waited longer for a playoff win than we have. Mm-hmm. Would you have taken him pre-Ben Johnson? Because obviously it looks like you got a good thing with Ben Johnson now. Pre-Ben Johnson, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I went on the record. I wouldn't trade anyone for Ben Johnson. I love Ben Johnson. I'd die for Ben Johnson. But yes, at that time, I think I would have just because – I agree with you. I think Mike Tomlin's a very, very good coach, but there is a point where it gets stale. Yep. And the same thing you guys watch every single year, because there was a moment, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago where I got mad at Jerry because he was mad at Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. Like, dude, you go to the playoffs every year. You know how much I would love to go to the playoffs every year? But then you realize that it's that's the ceiling. And that's the ceiling with this team. And you guys have been in kind of quarterback hell ever since Big Ben hurt his arm, and it's the same thing every single year. It doesn't feel like there's any chance he'll lose his job. Is that correct?
He's zero chance anywhere.
So, I totally agree with you guys and understand your frustration with the same thing over and over and being stale about it. And the Steelers are kind of, the Bears are kind of the anti-Steelers in the fact that we have gone through the coaching carousel. Lovey obviously was here for a long time, but then it was, Tressman, then it was John Fox, then it was Nagy, then it was Eberflus. Now we feel like we have the guy, and it's got to be frustrating. So I see what you guys are saying when you're like, the playoffs are not enough. We want to win. We want to win playoff games and go to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, Kevin hates Mike Tomlin. Hates him for years.
You do too, Jerry. You do too.
Well, I only started hating him a few years ago. Kevin's hated him for a decade now.
He still is a good coach. That's the thing is, like, you guys still win games that you're not supposed to win because of Mike Tomlin. And it's just there's too many times where it's like the team is not ready or the staleness of how you guys are approaching a game. That's got to be frustrating.
Well, yeah, so that's exactly it. You say they win games that they shouldn't win. They do, no doubt about it. He has a high floor and a low ceiling, and it's right between 8 and 10. Like, if they would win 11 games, I would be like, holy shit, that's outside of Mike Tomlin's realm at this point.
Yeah.
But they're not going to also lose 10 games either.
Right.
So it's like we're trapped in it's purgatory, and this is why I hate Mike Tomlin, is because you say they win games they shouldn't win. They also lose games they should not lose.
Of course.
And
Absolutely.
so it's like, it's maddening. This is many years, at least with the Bears. Okay. They take a step back, you go get Caleb Williams, you load up on high end draft capital, and now you bounce back, and now you're having the best season you've had, I think, in like 10 years, 15 years.
2018 was the last time we won the division. That was the year that we should have that was a Super Bowl caliber defense, the double doink. But yeah, it's been a long time.
And so then this is the issue with the Steelers. If they're not going to take that step back to get the high-end quarterback that we need, that, pushes us, because everyone knows it doesn't matter how good your fucking defense is, how good your playmakers are. If you don't have the right guy under center, it's irrelevant. You're not winning. You're not going to get through a loaded AFC with Josh Allen, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow when he's healthy. You're just not going to do it with 41-year-old Rodgers. Not to say I don't like what we're getting out of him, but the Steelers, instead of just taking that 1 year, ripping the Band-Aid off and sucking, reloading, and then saying, all right, let's try and do it now. We're just stuck in this shitty fucking ride.
Yeah, no, the quarterback situation, the solution has not worked for you guys. And it's because you never will bottom out. You'll never be a really bad team, which there is something to that. Like, there are a lot of teams that get stuck in the bad team thing forever. Sure. But yeah, I'm excited for this game. I don't know. I honestly don't. Jerry's going to tell you that the Bears have beaten nobody. I can't disagree.
But I did say good teams are supposed to beat bad teams. I said that.
Yes. So I've taken a very measured approach to this Bears season because I have a calmness now with Ben Johnson. I do not think the Bears are a Super Bowl caliber team. I think we have graduated from being a bad team by showing that we can beat the bad teams. We are in the process of trying to become a good team, which I think we're right there. And it's really a question of, like, we haven't put together a full game yet. Our defense has a lot of holes. We're getting some guys back, hopefully, maybe not this week, but Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon both had their practice windows open. Yep. They're a team that's like this season already. This is going to sound like loser talk, but it's already like surpassed my expectations in that, like, year one with Ben Johnson, you got to try to see if Caleb can be the guy after last year. He has taken steps forward. Ben Johnson has clearly changed the culture here. So I'm very excited about the Bears' future. We do have a lot of tough games coming up. And this one's going to be really, like, I heard you guys talking before I got here. Like, this is a huge game for both teams because Steelers lose this, the Ravens are on your ass. Bears lose this. There's a lot of games left on the schedule that are not going to be, we're not going to be favored. We have the Eagles, we have the Packers twice, we have the Lions, we have the Niners. So this is a game that, at home, 3-point favorite, you conceivably can win. You got to take advantage of those opportunities.
This could be the season for both teams.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And I think for where you're at with the Bears this season, they win this game, and then you can be like, okay, there's really a chance. Even though, they're going to be, underestimated, they'll be dogs pretty much the rest of the way out as far as those big games are concerned. But Ben Johnson, what he's doing, they are getting better every week. This isn't like, I think that's the number one thing that we don't see with the Steelers very often. Like, they never get better going towards the end of the season, which I attribute to great coaching staffs. The Bears are doing why I wanted Ben Johnson so fucking badly is because they're getting better. You're getting more out of Caleb Williams than you saw last year. He's improving. He doesn't turn the ball over. I think that is the biggest thing with Caleb Williams this season is he does take a lot of sacks, but he does not turn the ball over. And,
no, he doesn't. Not this year. Not this year. His sack avoidance has been, he's an elite avoider of sacks. That's his, like, number one elite skill right now is elusiveness in the pocket, which, can be like it looks different than some other guys. Like Big Ben had sack avoidance because you couldn't bring him down. Lamar has sack avoidance because he's, if he sees a lane, he's just gone. Caleb is just really good at keeping all these plays alive, and he's just it's gone up and up and up every single game. And that's like we don't have the best. Our offensive line got totally rehauled this summer. The interior has been lights out. Darnell Wright's a stud on the right side. Our left tackle's a problem, which I don't know who's going to line. I assume TJ is going to be lining up against him a decent amount. That's going to be a problem because he hasn't been great. But it's like guys are getting to Caleb Williams, and then Caleb Williams is just finding a way out of it.
Left tackle, actually, it'll be Herbig. TJ nearly never leaves the right tackle
They
side.
move him once a game now. It's terrible.
Yeah, that'll be Nick Herbig. If Highsmith plays, we'll see, but the pec injury. But Nick Herbig is still a dog. He can still create problems on that side of the ball.
Badgers. Yeah, you guys just got Badgers everywhere.
It's incredible. Those are some of the best players that the Steelers have now are the Badgers. So I love to see that. But Big Cat, when you look at Aaron Rodgers, whether he plays or he doesn't play, being that he's 41 and he has tormented you for 20 fucking years at this point.
Yeah.
Do you still fear him coming to Chicago? Like even at 41 and having not being with the Packers, if he's coming with the Steelers who are 1-12 in Chicago all time, which is horrendous, do you fear Aaron Rodgers still?
Yeah, Jerry tried to say they're 1-12 in Chicago in the last 20 years. I was like, dude, we have not played that many times in the last 20
it's
years.
Once every 8 years.
Yeah, I know. But no, I fear him in the fact that he does take a special, like he revels in beating the Bears, and I think you will get his best effort if he does play in this game. But outside of that, I think Rodgers obviously is he's still better than Mason Rudolph. I think the drop off is smaller than people realize, just because of Aaron Rodgers being 41, him not having the mobility that he used to have, the offense not being super explosive. I think Mason Rudolph, like it's not one of those going from a starter to a backup where you're like, all right, season's over. You know what I mean? It's not like Joe Burrow to Jake Browning situation. So I don't want to play Aaron Rodgers because I do think he will play his best game of the year. What's the latest on his hand? He's got a broken hand?
Game time decision.
Fractured wrist, yeah. So I guess
So
they were trying.
How the fuck is he gonna catch the ball?
Well, so it's his fractured left hand is the first part of it. I guess what Tomlin's saying is it's going to come down to like safety, whether or not he can safely brace himself if he gets hit, things like that. But I was just telling Jerry before we recorded, if he can't play this week, okay, then how's he supposed to be better next week or the week after or the week after? It's either broken and he can play with it, or it's broken and he can't play with it until it's fully healed. Like I just don't see any of that. Oh, we'll see. I think that's coach speak. I think that's bullshit. Aaron Rodgers being the Bears killer that he's been, it would be insane if he wants to play and he says he at least wants to give it a go. I think it's ridiculous that you don't at least put him out there first to try.
No, I agree. I mean, he will, like him beating us with one hand would be real insulting, but it would also be par for the course for what he's done to the Bears in his career.
You think he'll get booed, Dan, right away when he comes if he plays?
Of course.
Booed bad.
Yeah. I mean, his record against the Bears is like 21-5 or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's 26-5,
there
and two
go.
of those are playoff victories. He's only lost in Soldier Field 3 times in his entire career.
Right. And it goes back to like that 2018 team that we had a good defense and we beat them up a couple times. But yeah, it's not. I don't want to play him, but we'll see. I mean, the one thing that you guys got to be scared about is I truly believe the Bears have not played a like perfect game yet, outside of maybe the Cowboys game, and it's coming. Like the deep shots are coming. They're Colson Loveland is starting to really like come into his own. The run game is ferocious now. So I just
second in football. That's number 2 in football.
Yeah.
You have the number 2 run game in football.
We have like a true identity finally, and it's just if Caleb and like Rome, Odunze, and DJ Moore can all get on the same page and a couple of these shot plays happen, like there's going to be a time in the next month where I think the Bears are going to break out offensively. I don't know. The Steelers defense has been a lot better. I would like, so it might not be this week.
Last 3 weeks
don't believe in it?
Significantly better.
Well, the thing is with the Steelers, it's like me and Kevin always say, if you want your quarterback to have the best game, play the Steelers, because we just give up a million passing yards. And I think the thing that scares me and probably scares Kevin a lot too is Caleb Williams out the pocket running the football.
Yeah.
We can get torched. Third and like 9, something like that. It seems like the Steelers are terrible on third down. Caleb's mobility could be a big problem. So I think that's what scares me the most. Kev, what about you?
I mean, Jerry, they're the 6th highest scoring offense in football. They give up the 6th fewest sacks. So Big Cat's right. While he gets pressured a lot, he is incredible at extending the play. He has the 2nd most fumbles of any player in football the last 2 seasons, though. So if you do get to him, he does have a ball security problem. And a lot of that is last year, though, taking sacks he shouldn't have taken. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. His time to release is the longest in the NFL. It is the longest in football. The Steelers have the fastest pass rush in football in terms of getting home. So if they can get there and actually get him on the ground, I think that's the equalizer. And that's going to have to be what it is for our defense the rest of the season. But if he gets outside the pocket, the Steelers are 31st in football in terms of getting off the field on 3rd and 7 or longer.
Yeah.
They're terrible. The only team worse is the Bengals. The Bears, they are 4th in conversions on 3rd down. So or second, actually. They're second. 33.65% of the time they convert 3rd downs.
Does Ben Johnson go for it a lot too?
Yeah, we'll go for it a lot. And then the on the other side, Ben Johnson is very aggressive. The biggest thing with the Bears offense is we have not been able to convert in the red zone. There's been a lot of field goals.
Bad.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's the big thing where it's like we're moving the ball well, and then we just can't get touchdowns. So, I'm hoping that Colson Loveland changes that a little. The Steelers on offense, the one thing that you'd want to see why you'd want to see Aaron Rodgers play is the Bears defense is bad. We don't have a pass rush. We have a really banged up secondary. Dennis Allen's done a pretty good job of keeping things together. We basically have been feasting on takeaways. So when we take the ball away, like that's what saves us a lot of the times. And then when they're not there, like the Ravens game when we played Snoop Huntley, like we couldn't take the ball away, and then the Ravens were able to do whatever they wanted. So that's really it. Like that's why Mason Rudolph, I'd want to see Mason Rudolph just because he probably is more likely to throw an interception than Aaron Rodgers, who doesn't throw picks. But the defense is bad. So you guys, and running the teams have had success running the ball on us. I don't know if Kenny Gainwell's playing, but yeah, it's an interesting matchup. I really do think it's kind of like two even teams with some holes, but also have the ability to play at a high level.
Very similar teams, Jerry. What did Big Cat say that I'm like, Jesus, is he describing the Bears or the Steelers?
Yeah, the takeaways. Steelers too. If they don't get takeaways, they lose. If they get takeaways, they win.
Yeah.
Luckily, the Bears defense has 22 takeaways. They're first in football with that. They are 21st in sacks. That you're right. They don't get the quarterback on the ground. They get off the field pretty well on 3rd downs for the most part. Their rushing defense is bad. It's 25th in football. Points allowed, it's bad. It's 26th in football. I could see this being a shootout just because while the Steelers defense has played better, the Bears have what the Steelers kryptonite is: 2 great wide receivers. I think you have 2 good wide receivers. You're going to create mismatches. Now, when the Steelers moved Ramsey into the safety spot, it has helped the defense immensely. So we'll see how that ends up going. But if he extends the play, anytime a quarterback extends the play against the Steelers, we get fucking shredded. Like, that's my biggest fear. That's my biggest fear in this game.
Kevin, it was funny on Advisors today. Me and Dan, it was the Steelers versus Bears. Like, we were trying to talk shit, but we couldn't even get it out because we're both in the same spot.
Yeah, we're both a little scared of it's like I'm enjoying the ride of this Bears season, but I'm not just boasting my chest out and being like 7-3 is awesome, but it's not like we've been killing everyone. We've beaten the 7, outside of the Vikings game, which was a big game because it's a divisional opponent. But before that, all 6 of our wins were against pretty much like the worst 10 teams, So, the Cowboys are playing a little bit better, but CeeDee Lamb got hurt in that game. So, yeah, this is going to be the Bears, as much as I've been so excited about this season, there is a quality of like unknown to how we match up against teams that are, playoff teams, and you're starting to get to the meat of the schedule here.
You know what you have going for you, though, Dan, is that at least you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Finally, after all of these years of misery, you can at least see, where it's trending. Yeah. You have an identity, like you said. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. For us, this is just a repeat of the same season we've had for like the last 7 seasons. And we don't have our franchise quarterback. So, the future doesn't look bright. For you to be at 7-3 and improving, and the Steelers to be right where they are every November, right around Thanksgiving, in a dogfight for either the division or the 7 seed, it's brutal for us. But you have to be sitting there, sure, glass half full. Who knows what this is going to ultimately be? But I would say I would much rather, and this hurts me to say, I would much rather be in the Bears position right now than in the Steelers position, because at least over the next 5 years, it looks like you have a guy that you can make runs with. We still have nothing.
Yeah, no, it is. That's the exciting part of this season is that it's like like I said, I don't know where it's going to end up. I think if we lose this game, it's going to be tough to make the playoffs. If we win this game, it's going to basically reverse where if we're sitting at 8-3, I'm going to be like really disappointed if we don't make the playoffs because then you've given yourself a huge cushion. But it really is like the things I went into this season wanting to see, I've already seen. So everything else right now, it's not gravy because I want them to go to the playoffs, but it feels good knowing like I'm not going to freak out and be like, oh my God, I can't believe we lost this game. We could lose to anyone. I mean, we've needed heroics to beat some of the worst teams in the NFL. So it's not like I'm expecting any game to be easy. No Bears games have been easy this year.
You know what Caleb Williams does, though? He gets it done in the fourth quarter. So I have him on my fantasy team. This guy might have 6 points, 4 points going to the fourth quarter, and then he ends up with 30. Like in the fourth quarter, he just turns – it's like he plays significantly more free, and he just slings the ball all over, and he's a lot more impressive in the fourth quarters, which is huge. I mean, if you can do it in the fourth, we used to say this about Kenny all the time. Like he would look like shit for 3 quarters and then win in the fourth, and it makes a believer out of you. Now, we ultimately saw how that worked out, but that's the other thing about Caleb Williams. He's hot and cold, but in the fourth quarter, he knows how to win games.
Yeah, no, 5 of our wins this year have come under 2 minutes. So we've been down in the game under 2 minutes. Like, that's pretty crazy to think about. So, like I said, it's not been easy, but it's been fun.
Big Cat, and you can be honest about this. This is something I've wanted to ask you for a while. This is, be honest, treat this as confessional, all right? You're talking to the priest, and nobody cares. This is completely free. Does the nail polish painting, does it bother you?
No.
That's a great question, Kevin. That's a good question.
No, it does not. It honestly doesn't because it's like, who the fuck cares? I honestly, if it bothers you, I feel like it says more about you. It's just like I don't care what the guys wear. I don't care what they dress like. I don't care any of that. If they're going out and balling and being good people and being good teammates, that's all that matters. Like I'd rather a guy who has nail polish on his fingers and a great teammate than a guy who, dresses in Carhartt and is a terrible teammate. Like, what is the, you know what I mean? It's not even a question to me.
Sure.
And also, you notice, like, the nail polish doesn't come up a lot because we're winning.
That's exactly it. It's only a talking point when you're losing. And, like, obviously, if I want to take stabs at him, I'm going to say, oh, this guy paints his fingernails. What a pussy, whatever. But if he were the Steelers quarterback, I'd probably be painting my own fucking fingernails.
Oh, I did on draft night. Yeah. No, and listen, he like from everything I've seen, read, heard, talked about, like he seems like a guy that people are rallying around and a good dude. And I also liked like you march to the beat of your own drum. Like I think there's something to be said to that. Like he's got a confidence, he's got a swagger to him where he's like, I don't care. Like I can win a game in the fourth quarter. I can paint my nails. I don't give a fuck.
Right. So let's do predictions and then we'll look at betting real quick. What is the prediction, Jerry? We'll start with you. What are you? Are they winning? Are they losing? What's your score?
I think it's a tight game. I know you said shootout, Kevin, and I had the under last week, and that was a tight one. I almost got screwed on that. I think this turns into a little like ground game. I think the Bears are going to run the ball a lot. I think the Steelers are going to at least try to run the ball, depending if it's Mason Rudolph. If it's Aaron Rodgers, I think they'll try to sling it a little bit. But depending on who plays, I think if Mason plays, I think it's a loss. I think we lose something like, I don't know, 27-20, something like that, maybe 23-20. If Rodgers plays, I'm going to give us the win 24-21.
Okay. I'm going to say Bears 27, Steelers 24 with a touchdown by Caleb Williams with 45 seconds left in the game.
Oh, God, it'll crush me.
Oh, that would be terrible. Last time I was in Chicago, Jerry, that's the Vance McDonald ran down.
Yeah. And we screwed them on a call, too.
Yes. Yeah, that was the whole Villanueva doesn't come out for the national anthem. Or he's the only one that comes out. The Steelers stay in that whole time. Chicago is a tough place to play for the Steelers, and that's what scares the shit out of me. That's why I need Rodgers. Like, to me, that's the only shining beacon of hope that we're going to have is he knows how to win there. And this is not even the same Bears team that he's played. So much of that is different, but it's like Big Ben against the Browns. I knew Big Ben going to Cleveland, he was going to beat the fucking Browns. That's just what he does. That's who he is. He's comfortable there. It doesn't matter who his players are, who their players are. I'm going to take the Steelers to win I think it's like 31-28 type of game.
Wow.
Maybe a Boswell winner at the end. Both of our defenses are a little bit, they rely on the takeaways too much. And when they don't, and we've said it, teams score on them. Bears give up 26 and a half. Steelers give up 25. I mean, they're very similar in that regard. I'm taking the 31-28 Steelers. Big Cat, if you had to pick a bet, any bet, gun to your head, you have to hit it. What bet would you take in this game?
What's your guys' rush defense like?
No, it was really bad. It's getting better though.
It's improved the last 3 to 4 weeks, but the first 7 games it was terrible.
It was bad.
Like
all right, let me take.
24.
You know what? Because I talked about them already. Let me look. I'll take. If I had to take a bet, where is it? I can't see it. Oh, they don't have a bunch of the props up. Whatever Colson Loveland's over is, I'd take that yard. It's probably low. It's probably like 20, 25.
Yeah, that's a great bet. Steelers are terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Steelers are terrible.
he's every time he gets the ball, he runs so hard. He gets those extra yards. So yeah, I'm a big fan of his.
Would you have rather them taken Tyler Warren?
Nope.
Yeah, I told you this is like confessional, Big Cat.
Dude,
You can be
everyone
honest in
decided
here.
after like 5 weeks, Colson Loveland is his body type, his blocking. Like I'm good where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, what's your bet?
Man, I mean, I hate doing this.
No.
But I'm gonna take DK Metcalf
to score a touchdown.
To score a touchdown. Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done with the Steelers. I'm done with any bets that involve the Steelers. I can't do it anymore. They're so unpredictable offensively. Fucking Jalen Warren looks like he could have the greatest game of his career, and he'll play 4 snaps, and Kenneth Gainwell will go off. Like I just can't do it. You can't rely on anything Arthur Smith puts out there from an offensive side of the ball. I'm done losing those bets. I'm taking
Kevin.
over.
Big Cat is friends with Arthur Smith. Maybe try to tell him about the stat.
Yeah, I'll tell him.
Big Cat, they're 9-0 whenever Darnell Washington gets 40 or more snaps. 9-0.
He's the best. He's
He's a wagon, man. That
He's
guy,
awesome.
did you see today? He came out and said 6'7". He's on the
313, right?
yeah,
311.
Amonra podcast, and they ask him how big he is. He tries to deny it early. That fucking
That's
dog.
awesome. He's a
311, 6'7", 311, and he runs a 4.640.
It's
That's
crazy.
a unicorn. That's
monster.
insane.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the over 45.5. I just think, and I could also see the Steelers getting pounded and giving up 30. So if Rodgers plays, I think it's definitely over. If he doesn't play, I would have a little bit more fear in it, but over 45.5 is going to be my number. Jerry, anything else you got for Dan?
No, dang. I think it's probably it is the biggest guest we've ever had on the show. So this is
We're
great.
going to get TJ on the show.
Yeah,
well,
we do.
We have waited because Jerry's like, I want to ask him maybe when we can record in person. And Jerry never gets to make it to Pittsburgh. Like he never
he's
gets
gotta
to
work. He's got to work.
I know.
Monday, a Dolphins game.
Boo for Jerry. He's got his job is to fucking work, 1 day a week watching football with the boys.
Oh, no shit.
I'm
More than that.
On record though. Can I go to the Dolphins game Monday night?
Yeah, if it's a Monday night game, you can go.
Perfect. We're in, Kevin.
All right, I gotta hop on a phone call. I'll talk to you
thing.
guys.
Thanks, Dan.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
it,
you
brother.
guys.
Thank you.
Peace.
What's up, guys? Just want to take a quick break to shout out our friends at Pond Lee Hockey, the new official sponsor of the Steel Here podcast. And they want to let you know that when life hits you hard, you need a team that fights for you just as hard as your favorite players. That's Pond Lee Hockey, Pittsburgh's largest work injury firm. They specialize in winning injury and workers' compensation cases and are ready to go to battle for every dollar you deserve. From start to finish, they're with you every step of the way. And the first step, a free consultation. No strings, just answers. If you've been hurt at work or in an accident, call Pond Lee Hockey today. All right. Big thanks to Big Cat for joining us on the show.
Yep.
He's a great guest. You know why I like Big Cat, Jerry? He's like talking to like your best friend. He's just an easy guy to talk football with, talk sports with. He's just a guy. So I fucking love that about Big Cat. Appreciate him coming on the show. We're going to discuss a little bit of the Tomlin presser, Jerry, because this is something that yet again, once a week, Tomlin says something that I just can't take it anymore. And this was the biggest thing that he said that drove me up a fucking wall. Jerry, who has been the most surprising defensive player that the Steelers have had for the last 3 weeks now?
Yeah, James Pierre.
Without
Easily.
a doubt.
Not even close, really.
Without a doubt, James Pierre. And Tomlin is asked, when Darius Slay is back from concussion protocol, is it going to be James Pierre or is it going to be Darius Slay? And Tomlin says Darius Slay will step back into the starting role over James Pierre. It's not to say James Pierre hasn't earned more time, but the job is going to go back to Darius Slay.
Yeah, yeah. It's ridiculous. I mean, the thing is, this is what has Slay shown? He hasn't even shown anything.
Nothing.
Anytime we talk about Darius Slay, anytime we watch him, two things happen. He either gets hurt and has to return to the game,
Yep.
or he just looks terrible. So which one? Like, you're only getting those two options.
And you know what pisses me off the most about it, Jerry? We said this earlier in the season. He's 2 years older than the next oldest cornerback in football. 2
Yeah.
years. He's playing terribly. You've
Yeah.
seen very little effort at times from him in the tackling department, just giving no effort on guys at the goal line.
Oh yeah.
You know, doing the same type of shit that you saw the Bengals defenders do against Darnell Washington, just kind of like throw a shoulder out there, hope it does something, but you know
Yep.
it's not giving any fucking effort. But this is the same type of shit he did last year with Cam Sutton. You know, Beanie Bishop, he's not on the team now, you know, what have you, but last year Beanie Bishop was playing better than Cam Sutton was. The Steelers get Cam Sutton in after he, you know, he beats his girlfriend or whatever. He gets over his suspension. He comes back in. They put him in the game. And then the Steelers had all of those miscommunications. And
Yep.
everyone's saying guys aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're not where they're supposed to be. And yet they continued to play Cam Sutton. This is the same type of shit with Darius Slay over James Pierre. At no point this year, Jerry, have we seen Darius Slay play good football, in my opinion,
No.
let alone for 3 straight
No.
weeks. So
No.
why would you not play the younger, more athletic, faster guy who has at least shown you for 3 weeks that he can play an upper tier of football that you haven't gotten at all from Darius Slay?
Yeah, the thing that's what I don't understand, Kevin, is like, okay, I could understand it if like James Pierre was doing this against, you know, wide receiver threes and you know, guys who just don't have no names and aren't that great. I mean, he just did it to Jamar Chase. I mean, put him in a box. I mean, that's big, man. That's not easy to do.
And this is going to be one of those things where, okay, maybe Tomlin says that and he's going to give the job back because you don't lose your job to injury. You know, he loves to hold on to that shit too. But these are the things that I say, I just wish he would evolve and grow and change some of his archaic ways of doing things. I don't care about how much a guy is making. I care about the best product on the field. It shouldn't matter how much a guy is making. If he gets hurt and someone else steps in and they play better football, that should be that guy's job moving forward until he proves that he should lose that fucking job.
That's the thing too, is like, dude, what are we doing? Like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, you want to play you know, your guys who make the money, but if someone is outperforming you and it's multiple weeks, it's like, what are we doing?
And here's the thing. What if it's just one of those, we'll see how Darius Slay, we'll give him the starting role back if he has a bad possession.
That's what's going to happen. He's going to do it when it's too late.
Right. And that is my fear is that, okay, you put Darius Slay in, let him have a bad possession before he has a short leash and you yank him and put James Pierre in. But
Damage
in a
is
game
done.
in a game like this where the spread is 2.5 fucking points,
it's
you
over.
mean to tell me that one touchdown can't lose you the game? You know, if it's just one blown drive that cost the Steelers a game, then it was a bad decision by Mike Tomlin.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing, dude. Bears can come out first possession, storm right down the field, a couple throws to Darius Slay's side of the ball or whatever receiver he's coming for, covering, score a touchdown. Even if the Steelers respond and score a touchdown, that damage is done already.
Right, it's cooked. Like, so this is the shit where every year when he gets defended and the media defends him, if we eke out 9 wins and oh my God, another winning season for Coach Tomlin, it's like, yeah, but man, this is still the same shit he's always been doing where he just refuses to evolve and he refuses to change the way that he coaches football. And that's where it's like, man, if this one bites him in the ass, I'm going to be so loud and aggressive about it yet again. He also said with Rodgers, they're going to see about, you know, the pain tolerance, what he can handle, what he can't handle. I don't see any way you're going to look Aaron Rodgers in the face and tell him he can't play on Sunday.
Yeah. Good luck if Mike Tomlin thinks he's going to do that. Aaron Rodgers probably ain't going to let that happen.
No, and why should he? He? He didn't come here to, you know, if he's saying he can play, I think you at least have to give him the chance to try and do it.
Yeah, for sure. I think a big thing too, Kevin, that not a lot of people are talking about. I'm not saying this was maybe it was his only option to play football. I don't know. But a big part of that probably was like, hey, look, you're scheduled, bro. You're playing the Jets. You're going to play the NFC North again. Like, there's some things, you know, that swayed his decision for sure. And this is probably one of them. So I think he's going to play. I think he's playing.
Jerry, did we fuck up letting George Pickens go after the Monday night game? So we record Sunday night, then they play Monday night, and George Pickens is now the second most receiving yards of any wide receiver in football.
I think the thing is like, I think the last season was so frustrating as like a fan. Like, think we kind of, not even kind of, we really like wanted to reset. We didn't think they were going to try to make all these trades and whatnot. Right. We thought they might like go draft a quarterback possibly, and go from there. But I think that's what kind of made our decision like, hey, Georgia's gone. Hey, it is what it is. We're going to reset. You know what I mean?
Right.
If they were like, if they did the opposite, like they did the opposite of that, they like kind of went all in after George, and besides getting another receiver, but because we bitched and we complained about Georgie on the show, like, hey, fucking his heart's not in it,
Yep.
But one thing we always said on this show, and nobody can argue that, is we knew George was special.
Yep.
We knew he was special. We knew he didn't get the ball enough. Was he a head case? Yeah, but you've said it a bunch. A part of that is just not getting the ball, not being involved,
Yep. Jerry, George Pickens, he is, let me give you his stats in 2024 Arthur Smith's offense, with the quarterback carousel that we have between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. He was 27% of the target share. And this year, DK Metcalf in the offense is 22% of the target share. George Pickens, 2.12 yards per route run. He averaged 64 yards a game. DK is 1.75 yards per route run and 55 yards per game. I think one thing that I want to put into perspective with all of this is, and we bitched about DK, saying he's not living up to the contract. And we did get a lot of pushback about that take. It's not so much that he's not living up to the contract. The numbers aren't there, sure. I just don't know that even if we had George Pickens in this offense, well, I would love it. Of course, I think it would look so much different. It has the potential to be a much better offense. I don't think the Steelers have what it takes to feed two wide receivers. And I don't know that George Pickens ever would have achieved his superstar potential staying with the Steelers the way that they do it right now. Like they're never going to have given him the ability to put up these crazy numbers that he's doing in Dallas, where he's happy and he's shining. And everybody knew he was a top 5 talent, all-time potential. But I just don't know that. And that's why it's hard for me to be upset with DK. I don't know if it's so much DK's problem as it is Arthur Smith's scheme and the way Mike Tomlin wants to do it. Safe, small ball, don't take many risks. We don't have to push the ball down the field. Let's just churn this thing out and let the defense win it at the end. Same way it was last year, same way it's been for years.
No, I think that's a good take too, Kev, because like a lot of us would be like, hey, fucking, if we had George, look at that. We got DK and George. Maybe the scheme just wasn't for George, Right. The scheme, I mean, clearly it's not for DK, DK's a veteran, been doing this for years, so it ain't for, if it's not for DK, it definitely ain't for Georgie.
And that's the issue. And like, that's why I'm just ready for a complete overhaul. And it's those reasons. Like, I just want to completely change the way that the Steelers approach the modern game in the NFL. I want to see them focus offensively first. That way you can have two wide receivers that can thrive again. It has been since the Killer B era and Todd Haley, and pour one out for Todd Haley. Like, the guy took a ton of shit because him and Ben didn't get along. But at least that offense was able to fucking march up and down the field. And
I know.
This is a slugfest out of this Steelers offense at this point with the tight ends that we have. Jerry, you go out, you trade for Jonnu Smith, and then Darnell Washington becomes a dog. If Darnell Washington does not get the majority of the snaps this weekend, it just goes to show that they're still stuck in their ways with the way that they do things, and they'll play the contracts over the talent. The numbers comparatively since week 4, Darnell Washington since week 4 has 25 targets, 18 of those are catches, 209 yards, 1 touchdown, a 110.2 passer rating when targeted. 8.3 yards per target. Jonnu Smith since week 4 has 25 targets, same amount of targets, 4 less receptions at 14, only 98 yards, 3.9 yards per target, 1 touchdown, and a 78.4 passer rating.
Ooh, big difference.
Massive difference. We're talking like worlds apart as far as he's damn near doubled him in yards. He has doubled him in yards and a much higher passer rating, 30 some points higher as far as passer rating when you target Darnell Washington. They just
Darnell Washington
going.
Yeah, I mean, Darnell Washington, probably MVP for the Steelers offense so far.
So far? Him or Jaylen Warren?
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe it.
And that's where it's like, man, and they gave Jonnu the extra year at like 10 or $13 million.
Yeah.
And if they let Darnell walk, he'll go into year 4 next year, but you would want to wrap him up before that season ends.
Yeah.
What if he continues to build on this and is a monster next year? He's going to command a lot of money on the free agency.
Yeah, he will, because he can do everything. He can block, he can catch the ball, he could run after the catch. You know what I mean? He could do it all.
He's a fucking unicorn. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't see many guys that are your best left tackle and can run 4.6 and can catch damn near any ball in his area and can run over everybody. Like, he is a nightmare for everybody he plays. And so if you're looking at it, you're not going to pay 3 tight ends. So you're going to have to move one of these guys now. That's my fear, is maybe Freiermuth gets fucking booted at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but I don't know, man. I think Johnny would be the one guy out.
Yeah, but it's tough because, teams didn't want to absorb that contract originally. The Steelers had a year to it, and now it's like, man, they might have put themselves in a fucking pickle here, unless they're looking at Darnell and they're like, look, we're not going to pay you this year, or they give them a light front end deal that's heavier on the back end. That way they can make it work, and you can make it through one more year, and then John is gone, and then you're okay on that end. But between Darnell Washington and Nick Herbig, those are 2 guys you absolutely have to lock up. And you know what's crazy? They were later round guys. You're talking fourth round picks as far as those guys are concerned. So they're going to have to figure something out with that. Jared, if we lose on Sunday, I think the Steelers season is pretty much on life support at that point, though.
Yeah, I think it's I think if they lose Sunday, I think the division is done. If they lose Sunday, I think the division is done. I do still think there's a chance they can make the playoffs.
Sure.
But the division is dead if they lose.
This is where let's run through the schedule and play our favorite.
Ravens' schedule's too easy.
Ravens' schedule is way too easy. However, the Ravens are always in these little dog fights where, they look like they could have a hiccup. So Sunday against the Bears, we're both saying win, and tentatively. Like, I'm not confident in this. I think it's a lost game. I think the Bears are a little bit of a fake winners so far, and that's why even Big Cat was hesitant to get too excited about it, because everyone knows they really haven't beaten anybody, and their wins have come at the end. They've had to claw it out to win these games. It's not like the Steelers, while we're not happy with what we've seen so far, they're 6-4, and we've beaten some good football teams. We've beaten the Patriots. We've beaten the Colts. We've beaten some good football teams. So it's not as though we've beaten nobody and we're in the same situation.
You're close in that Seattle game as well.
Right, close in the Seattle game. You could have beat the Bengals the first time through. Yeah. So it's not like we're pretenders. I think we're right where we're supposed to be. I think we're right where we're supposed to be about who this football team is. So we both say beat the Bears. Coming home, then you have the Bills.
Man, that's tough.
I'm taking loss on that game. I think the Bills are a little bit overrated too. They don't have a real number 1 wide receiver, which is great for us. James Cook is having an incredible season, but I would say it's still Josh Allen against the Steelers. I'm still taking it as an L, although it's at home and I could see a way that the Steelers could win. I'm still worried, and I would take it as an L.
Yeah, I would too, I think, yeah.
And then we're on the road, Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, probably loss. Yeah.
Yeah, L. So I'm taking L there too. So we would be at 7-4, 7-5, 7-6. Then we're home Monday Night Dolphins game.
Win.
8-6. Then we go on the road to the Browns.
We beat them.
Yeah, they're a dumpster fire, man. And by that point in the season, they're playing for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
They're playing for nothing now, but I think it's even significantly less than. I'm taking that as a win. So we're at 9 and. Oh no, we have the Lions then.
Loss.
Yeah. So at that point,
is that game in Pittsburgh?
No, it's in Detroit.
Oh, they'll get railroaded that game.
4:25 kickoff, 4 days before Christmas. I'm taking that as an L. And then the final game of the season, January 4th, at home against the Ravens. At this point, right here, we're 9-7, based on our numbers. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say win, just because I think we'll split with them.
Yeah, so that gets us to 10-7. Then it's going to come down to tiebreakers. What's our record in the AFC versus what the Ravens' record is? Because head-to-head, it's pretty much going to look the same. Divisionally, we need to have the Bengals. I hope Joe Burrow does come back and beat the Ravens one game. That's big. Ravens' schedule, while it is easy, they still do have some tough games on there. They're going to have so they got the Jets, yes, but then they play the Patriots. However, it is in Baltimore. They play the Bengals on the road. They have the Packers and they have us. There are some losable fucking games.
Yeah, some losable games in there for sure.
I don't know, man. This is it for me though. Like it's hard to even look ahead because if they don't win on Sunday in Chicago, I just think that it's too hard to overcome the rest of that. I think you're looking at 9-8. They lose Sunday. I think the Steelers ultimately go 9-8.
Yeah, I do too. But like, there's a part of me that I'm saying to myself these last couple of days, if they lose this Bears game, things might make a turn for the worst.
Unravel.
Like, yeah, they might lose like 3-4 in a row.
Well, Jerry, if they lose the fucking Bears game and then we're playing, look at the rest of the teams we just named. You lose that Bears game and then you have to play the Bills and then you have to play the Ravens.
So that could be 3 in a row right there.
Yeah, Lions. I mean, you could lose 3 out of 4 pretty quickly with just the Dolphins game sprinkled in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's 4 out of 5. No, is that 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5?
Yeah, you could lose 3 out of 4 pretty quickly right there.
Bears.
If you lose the Bears game, then we come home to the Bills.
That could be a loss too.
Yep. And then your
Ravens,
and
3.
Then Monday Night Football.
Okay, that's 3 for 4, and then the Lions 4
4 out of 5.
4 to 5.
Yeah,
that can get scary quick.
But here's the thing: they don't lose games. You know what I mean? So that's why when we look at these games, Tomlin will win. Big Cat even said he'll win games they shouldn't win. So like one of those games, you can take it as a win. However, one of those games, you could take it as a loss as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You would think we're giving us the Dolphins and we're giving us the Browns. One of those could be a fucking L. That's why these coin toss games, and that's what I would consider this Bears game, a coin toss game.
Yeah,
that's
same
why
here.
This is what you have to win. You have to win the coin toss games to keep any life to this thing.
Yeah.
As you get towards Christmas. To recap the betting, unless there's anything else you want to add to this episode. What's up, guys? Just want to take a quick second to shout out our friends over at TickPick. You guys see me at the games. You see the seats that I have, the experiences that I get to enjoy, and that's all because of TickPick. If you're looking on the secondary market for tickets to a Steelers game and you're not using TickPick, you're honestly probably paying more than you should have to. There are no fees. It's upfront pricing, and you can use code STEELERS20 for $20 off your first order of game tickets. They're the best in the game, in my opinion, and I want you guys to be able to take advantage of how good their product is. So use TickPick moving forward. Let's get back to the episode.
No, everything was great. We covered a lot. It was a great show so far.
Still no word on Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So
wait, what?
Yeah, no word if they're going to call him up and he'll play this week or not, which I think is fucking insane at this point because this isn't a guy that needed conditioning like Asante Samuel Jr.
No.
He's been on practice squad the whole season. He's been conditioned. Get him up here. No word on if they're going to activate Asante Samuel Jr. yet coming up from the practice squad. No word on either of those. Jaylen Warren did not practice today, but he should be okay. Tomlin said he could have come back into the game on Sunday. More so probably precautionary with Jaylen Warren. Highsmith did not practice today with that pec injury. Honestly, whatever. The Bears do have a great running game, but I still would prefer to see Nick Herbig as far
Me
as
too. I'm with you.
So I'm okay with that. Isaac Samalo limited. He should probably play on Sunday. No other major injuries, knock on wood, for the Steelers right now. So that's promising news. Bears are injured. They do have some injuries on defense. Jalen Johnson might play, might not play. That's big for us. I think he's one of the best.
He's a great cornerback.
One of the best in football. Undoubtedly. So the betting, we already announced our bets, but I'm 3-8 on the year. I took Rodgers over 2 passing touchdowns yet again last week. That's 3 straight weeks of taking that bet, and I lost again. Starts the game, marches right down the field, passing touchdown on the first possession. I'm like, thank fucking God, man. I need to get off the schneid. Nope, gets hurt, doesn't throw another one.
Crazy.
Jerry, you are 6-8 on the season. You lost both of your bets. Now there is a gray area here because Jerry did say he was taking the under 49.5, but his 2 official bets last week were TJ anytime sack, did not get one, and DK over 60 receiving, did not hit that. So
I don't know. Well, I don't know. We got to go back and look. But if my official bets were TJ and DK is 2 losers.
Yeah, it's 2 losses. So Jerry is 6-8. I'm 3-8. I'm still 3 games back, and we only have like 6 weeks left. So I need to get on a fucking roll here.
Yeah.
That's why I'm taking the over 45.5. Jerry is taking, what was your bet, Jerry?
DK touchdown.
Jerry, DK, anytime touchdown.
Yeah.
The money line is plus 124 to the Steelers. The over under is 45.5. The Bears are favored, though it's only minus 148, and the spread is plus 2.5 to the Steelers. So Vegas thinks it's a pretty much of a toss-up game as well. It's a coin toss game.
Yeah.
Could see it going either way. I think if there's any other bet that I would consider taking, it would be a Darnell Washington anytime touchdown. I mean, I'm just playing the guys that are trending the best right now.
Yeah, I can see that too.
And I think that they're going to be looking to him no matter what in the red zone. I think you just got to continue to build on what that guy's giving you. You have to just see where it caps out at. Because at this point, he's obviously shown he can do it all. I want to see where it caps out at with Darnell Washington.
Same here.
We appreciate you guys. Continue like, comment, subscribe. Continue to share the show where you find it. We appreciate all of your support. I'm going to Chicago, so I will be there Saturday afternoon. We're hosting a monster terrible tailgate in Chicago, Jerry, with a bunch of legends of the 90s team.
Hell yeah.
Let me get you.
Where are you staying at?
I'm staying in like the city just because it's so much closer to
Soldier Field.
Yeah, it's just easier for me to get to Soldier from there. We have Chad Brown, edge rusher from the 90s, Yancey Thigpen, great receiver from the 90s, Darren Perry, great secondary player from the 90s, and Ernie Mills, another great wide receiver. So those 4 guys at the Terrible Tailgate. You can find that information on Twitter or terribletailgate.com. So if you're looking to buy tickets, we only have about 100 left, and then we're sold out at 500 tickets. So if you're interested in coming, make sure you get your ticket in advance. We will record again. My flight is Sunday. I'm leaving Chicago at 6:30. I will be back
a.m.
PM after the game. So going to the game and then going to the airport after that. It's a noon game, Chicago time, which is nice. So I'll be out of there by 3:30, 4 o'clock, to the airport by 5. I'm flying back 6:30. I'll be home by like 8:39. We'll still record Sunday night after the Sunday night game, then we'll get it out Monday for you guys.
I got bad news for you.
Oh no, what?
You ain't getting to the airport.
It's that bad?
Yeah, it's bad.
That's my fucking fear. That is my fear. I'm like, that's 3 hours. I should be okay with that. My buddy's
Wait, so when is your flight?
6:30. Leaves at 6:30.
Okay, I thought you said 6. Okay, 6:30. Leaves at 6:30.
Leaves at 6:30. They close.
When you board?
Yeah, they close the doors at 6:15. I board at like 5:35, I think it is.
Noon game?
Noon game. So if it goes till 3:30.
You're good. Getting out of there is a bitch.
And it's still fucking... I looked at it last night when there was no traffic, like 10 p.m., just to see best case scenario. No traffic, 10 p.m. It's still a 25-minute drive.
Yeah.
That's no game day traffic. So my fear is if I sit in traffic for an hour and a half.
Well, I live right by O'Hare. It takes me about an hour and 20 to get down there sometimes.
You're fucking kidding me.
Yeah, I live by O'Hare. Yeah.
Oh, Jerry, this could be a nightmare situation for me.
Yeah, but if you're out of the stadium by like, you got to be out of the stadium by like 4:30. You got to be.
Oh, if it goes longer than 4:30, we went into overtime. Like we're in the fucking, that's a long ass game at 4:30, because if it starts at noon and it's a 3.5 hour game, I'm out of there by 3:45, 4 at the latest.
Yeah. You got to be in the latest 4:30, the latest.
Ooh, I might be snugged up on the couch if that's the case, Jerry.
Yeah, it's all good. You got extra spot here.
Yeah, no shit.
I'll put the lights on for you.
That's just what we need, Jerry. I might need a trip to the titty bar if we lose this one. Nah, we appreciate you guys. We'll record again Sunday night, and then we'll get the episode out to you Monday.
Perfect. See you guys Sunday.
Later, Jerry.
We're here. We're still here.
We are still here.